Hello pilots and welcome to Season 4 of Flight Academy, brought to you by Out of Arc Gaming. As always, my name is Phil. Full format rules and lists are in the description below, and you can see all lists in the video linked in the top right hand corner of the screen now. But joining me for this game we have...
James, here still, I don't know, I didn't have an intro prepared.
Still here, still talking spaceships.
Speaking of still here, you are playing.
I am, and I'll tell you what, I had such good fun for this season. It was really nice flying 2 ships, and getting to fly 2 Delta 7s was just hilariously good fun. Especially with the new added Gallia, she's pretty good actually. But yeah, I'm still here, and my opponent for this round is Scott with the B-Wings, which is quite intimidating, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's 2 fairly different kinds of ships. You've got, I mean, not complete arc dodgers, you got a little bit of bulk with some shields and a good amount of force. But the B-Wings just have a good amount of health.
Yeah.
And some scary upgrades on there.
Yeah, interesting upgrades. Again, it's a variation of a dual B-Wing list. We've got the Stress Boys, and then this one we've got the Stress Boy and his handler, facilitator.
Sure.
I mean, Gina likes to pass the stress, and I think that's a great combination when you have got 10 or Braylon, so that is fantastic. But yeah, I've got like your light interceptor, should I say. It's got the speed, but it's got a bit more bulk. So it's going to be interesting to see. I had good luck against the last B-Wing list I flew against, but this one also has ion bombs, which is kind of scary.
Yeah, also in Obi-Wan Kenobi's, viewpoint, there's no such thing as luck.
No. So it all comes down to skill, and anyone that's watched enough of me playing knows that if it was a chart on an RPG, it would be firmly placed in the middle and no higher. I just wing it, and that's fine. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one against these B-Wings because, again, a lot of health to get through. At least I don't have to worry so much about the double tap because Proton Cannons are not easy to trigger.
Yeah, Scott's build is maybe a bit more focused on the bombs and maybe the tractor beam than the Proton Cannon.
It's more of a control build rather than a pure damage output like Connor's
It
list.
definitely feels like I've got points. I guess I'll throw the Proton Cannons on if I get a shot with it, great. Rather than trying to get the shot with it.
I mean, if you do get a shot with a Proton Cannon, they are fantastic.
Oh yeah, 4 dice.
I mean, 4 dice. You get to
why
change one.
I always liked using the heavy laser cannon on the T-70 X-Wings.
I mean, with the Proton Cannon as well, you get to turn one to a crit.
Yeah, no crits is the downside to the heavy laser cannon, but you only need 1 cannon slot to take that one.
Yeah, I mean, I've used quad B-Wings with Proton Cannons, and it was very effective. Sorry, Fergus, I know you didn't really get to use Chewbacca very long in that game, but don't park it in front of 4 B-Wings. It's savage.
I have had a very similar thing. Actually, it might have been back in version 1, or maybe early version 2, but yeah, Han in the Falcon against 4 B-Wings just melted.
Yeah, you look at the single evade dice and you think, oh, it's not too bad, but then you realise the potential output. And the B-Wing actually has a really fun dial.
It's got a really weird dial, but it works. Like, it turns around. It's
so quick.
It's an American expression, but on a dime.
Yeah. And that in itself is just what is fantastic. But it looks like 1 hit there, evaded.
Nice.
B-Wing getting an extra dice.
Previously, when we were recording rounds, you had a buy. So this is the first time I've actually commentated on one of your games. I've watched some of your other games, haven't yet commentated on it. What brought you to fly these two Jedi?
It was quite. I was looking at so many different combinations, and I have a real soft spot for the Republic. I really like flying Republic. They're just really good fun. And Hot Shots and Aces 2 had come out, and I saw the Gallia card, and I was like, you know what? I like that. I want to give it a go. And she was only 5 points, so she paired up perfectly with Obi-Wan. So I get to fly 2 Delta 7s, who, as I said, have a really good dial. They can be quick, they can arc dodge. They've got a bit more bulk with the shield. They've got the Force. And I can whack R3.
They're sort of a bit of an all-rounder, but also have the Force, which is quite nice.
And also, I can put R3 Astromech on there and get double locks. Which,
that's a good idea.
When you're coming up against 2 ships, double locking is just great. And it has worked out really advantageous for me. So
that's a very interesting bomb placement.
Yeah, possibly expecting the long bomb catered.
He's put the timer on it.
He doesn't.
Is it?
Is that a delayed fuses charge? I don't think he has delayed fuses.
It looks like a delayed fuses.
I didn't realise he had delayed fuses on his list.
No, I mean, I don't think it really matters, because I don't think you're going to go anywhere near that bomb.
No, I mean, I'm not going to be doing like a long bomb 5 forward, and even if I did, I would just try and barrel roll or boost out of the way of it.
Yeah, it's a very interesting bomb.
Yeah.
Especially when he has trajectory simulator, he could have thrown it forwards.
I think throwing it forwards with the worry would be that Numb's coming round there, so he knew. And also he's now doing this, which means he would have just hit that.
Yeah, that's the weird thing with trajectory simulator is you go, I really want to put a bomb there, and then you go, where's the best place for me to fly to? Oh, it's also there. Okay, which one would I rather have in that spot? A bomb or my ship?
It is tricky. Certain ships it does work on because you can... Some ships it allow you to actually do an action after you've dropped a bomb, so you could barrel roll a little bit, but...
Yeah, the dedicated bombers like the Resistance one.
Yeah.
Obviously, it started out in that pack anyway, so it's kind of designed for that ship. The B-Wings are kind of like, oh, we can take trajectory simulator. We'll make do with it.
Yeah, we could if we're not playing standard.
Yeah, it's like a lot of ships that can slam could take advanced slam, but not a lot really benefit that much from it.
Yeah, slam's an interesting one because, in fact, I don't... Are there any ships in standard that can slam naturally?
Is the Fireball.
Fireball and I've just thought the Tri-Fighter.
I always forget that one can slam.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It's a quick ship.
Yeah. But you never know. Maybe one day they'll bring my K-Wings back into standard because
I'll be waiting a while on those ones.
I'm willing to wait.
But there was an E-Wing in the Ahsoka trailer.
Yes. Oh, the E-Wing. If they bring the E-Wing back with a config, because I think that's what the E-Wing needs to sort of give it a bit of a tweak, because I think the E-Wing's great, but not many people really agree.
I think the E-Wing itself is pretty average, but some of the pilot abilities are amazing. Obviously, you've got, what's his name that shoots twice?
Corran Horn.
That's the one. And the other guy who lets friends turn hits to crits.
Gavin Darklighter. But I think the big thing with the E-Wing is it's very expensive. I think they're all 6 points.
For what you get, it's not fantastic.
Have I just arc dodged that? I have arc dodged it.
You lived up to your own channel's name.
Out of Arc Gaming. I should get that on a shirt. And I mean, I really should get that on a shirt. But obviously that bomb with the delayed fuses, which again, is going to make it tricky, and looks like we've got another bomb dropping here, so we are in a little bit of an ion alley.
You are also the now which B-wing is which?
The 10 Numb is the red B-wing with the green sticker, and Gina is the white one with the yellow sticker.
Okay, so Gina is in a good position to just do a one talent roll.
Yeah, a one talent roll would be pretty good.
I was going to say if it's 10, then that's great because he doesn't care about the stress.
True. I mean, the one bank.
Okay.
It's highly unlikely that I'm going to still be there. Maybe a lock and barrel roll.
I mean, it clears the stress.
Yeah.
And still gives an action.
10 is an odd one. Well, 10 and Brendan are interesting because obviously they've got the stress. So sometimes they're like, you know what, I don't mind keeping hold of it. But again, it just limits their dial. But if they could somehow get contraband cybernetics, they would be truly broken.
Yeah, I think that would be a bit much.
I mean, it's when you actually have Leia on the U-wing with them is a very solid play.
Yeah, but Leia just makes the maneuver easier, right?
Yeah. So it reduces.
You wouldn't get the initial stress.
No, but if they have the stress and they haven't spent it.
Oh, I see. It's like, oh, I'm still stressed. It's like, well, you can still turn around. I see what you mean.
Yeah, it gives you the option. Oh, flying straight through Ion Alley there. Getting, I think, just out of range one of that second Ion.
Yeah, getting some locks as well. Nice.
Saying, whatever. Obi-Wan's sticking in for the violence. Again, double locking. The double lock is really good because obviously if you've got one ship, you're going to use it against that, but then the lock is there for the other ship later. So if you can get a really nice position with a lock and a focus, and you've got bullseye, calibrated laser targeting, adding that focus, it is just an absolute ideal.
In this format in particular, R3 Astromech is fantastic if you can take it. Getting two locks on an action can potentially target lock the entire opposing team, and with how a lot of players have been flying, those ships tend to fly close enough together that you can get the double lock.
Yeah, I think I've only seen a few times where just out for the double lock. Avoiding the ion there. Beautiful, if I do say so myself. Being in Gina's arc, though, is less than ideal, but I have the Force, so hopefully it won't be too much of an issue. And
is that in bullseye?
That is in bullseye.
Okay, so that's the targeting, right?
So yeah, that's calibrated laser targeting, adding a focus for being in bullseye, range 1. I'm just going to spend that target lock.
Yep.
Oh, that's a lot of focuses.
That is. Oh, you don't want to use that much force, do you?
I'm using 2, I'm choosing violence, so that looks like 3 hits. And spending the stress, so 2 going through, so 2 shields off 10 numb there.
Okay.
Saving 1 focus in case I need to use brilliant evasion.
See, I feel like when you have that many dice and no focus, even though you have the force, I feel like you're still better off just re-rolling all of it.
Looking back at it now, I kind of wish I had. Oh, that's a big one.
You could have rolled into something like that.
Yeah. That's a lot of damage. So that's a shield and a crit. Oh, shield hit crit. Ooh. What is the crit? It's a console fire, so I have already activated, so that's fine, he says. Yeah, I think I should have spent the target lock there and re-rolled those focuses. It would have been a better option.
Now, if you had all of your force, like let's say you re-rolled and you got a good shot, you didn't need to spend the force. On your defense there, would you have used brilliant evasion?
I wouldn't have been able to because you
really?
need to have focuses. So Brilliant Evasion, if you've got 2 focus results, you can spend 1 force to turn them to evades. So it always makes it act like a little bit of a focus.
My bad. I was misunderstanding how that's used. It's not a force upgrade I've used a lot, if ever, actually.
I mean, obviously the only force user you would normally use is Ray or possibly Luke.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, and I don't think you really use the force on Ray. You don't use the force on Ray like that.
No, I think I only ever really give her patience because it's very cheap.
It allows you to roll 1 less and get a force back for it.
Yeah, she already has so many attack dice that sometimes you can afford to do that.
Yeah, patience is a really good one. I tend to avoid it, which I think I shouldn't, because at points it can be really handy. You can be like, you know what?
If you've got a terrible shot as your only option, you go, you know what? I'll just get an extra force back. Why not?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Now, are you? Hang on, who's that? Oh, it's not Ali Gallia. Oh, I was really hoping that was Ali Gallia. You could get the Foresight shot.
Yeah. Which I've only managed to trigger once throughout all of it.
It's a tricky thing because it's bullseye range 1 to 2.
Yeah, and it's maneuver. So if they do a barrel roll, that doesn't count.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I think if I was to change this list, I would probably change Foresight for something else. I don't know what.
I mean, yeah, Foresight's 6 points.
Yeah, I could possibly have taken extreme maneuvers or even patience. Oh, and Obi-Wan is going straight over the top of that and going to be ioned, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it's not great for Kenobi.
No.
Oh, what? Oh no, this is just shooting, isn't it? Sorry.
Checking if he's ioned, which he is ioned.
Even with that slight nudging from you, I think that was already in.
Yeah, because I moved it slightly. It was very square.
Yeah, it's like, well, I moved it this way, I'll move back, and then it's fine.
And again, I will point out that obviously I know in one of the earlier rounds someone reminded us that when you get ioned, you break all locks.
But
obviously,
this was recorded before that.
This was all recorded by that point. So
it's one of the things that is a newer addition to the rules, and does I don't know, Ion. It shows up sometimes, but you don't think about like, okay, we'll go through all of the things that Ion now does. You just go, oh, okay, I'll just do the forward. Sometimes I even forget I can now do a bank.
Yeah, I think when Ion got updated, that was the thing everyone focused on, was the fact that you can do the bank. That's Obi-Wan down.
Some good points for Scott, and time. Unfortunate for you.
Yeah. But I do still get to have a shot. But it's not going to help because I've not got the right opponent and I've not got enough to actually...
you get some very lucky crits.
Yeah. So that's a hit crit with Marksmanship. But it's not enough to take the shields down. Gallia will have a shot. Again, not going to be... The best I can do is half points, which is only going to be...
Yeah, it's just
2.
Unfortunately not enough.
Yeah.
I don't think your positioning was bad that game, though.
No, I think with Obi-Wan maybe a little bit overly aggressive. I should have spent that target lock wiser. I think would have been better. But I'm happy with my positioning. Scott had some really good positioning, and he utilised those B-wings type manoeuvres really well, and passing that straight across. So, fair play to Scott. He did fly that really well, and he obviously got the win there. So well done to Scott. But James, thank you for joining us. I hope you are happy with a Rebel win there.
I am, although I like the Jedi as well.
Good. We should get you into the Republic. You'd like that.
My wallet says no.
Too much Legion. But that's fine. Okay, anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that game. Still plenty more to come, so like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time.